Nakuna Sise, and today the camera can work with you that the Arian Sane Memorial Hall with the large office. For witness the press conference where the Consortium for Good Governance, Human Rights and Democracy all for talk about issues we get for do with the Alliance Democratic Party leader when Mr. Mohamed Kamari Sane in case. Let me go inside the press conference now and witness as people they talk about things that we get for do with the case.
Welcome again to this very, very important meeting, otherwise known as a press conference. I will quickly give you a brief about the purpose of this meeting. We have decided to call members of the press because we think you are the vehicle to relay our press release, and we believe that with your cooperation and support, we will have our messages channeled to the authorities. And we believe that your contribution as the Fourth Estate has always been very, very pivotal in terms of national development and national cohesion. We are here today because we think we need to examine the trial and the justice system of our country in terms of our brother who is still in incarceration, no less a person but Mr. Kamari, which I think all of us here know. Our organization is apolitical. We need not emphasize it, but we need to also state that we have no business in politics. But our business is also to monitor how our politics, our good governance in this country rolls on. We also need to know how our justice system is also unfolding. We are also concerned about human rights issues, and we think it falls within our purview and it's our mandate to always raise issues around human rights, the rule of law, justice, and the stability of Sierra Leone. It is our own fundamental duty, which we have always taken up. And we will not relent because we believe every Sierra Leonean deserves fair trial. Every Sierra Leonean deserves to be protected. And so we are here today not to prejudice the trial of Kamari, but we are also going to be very, very meticulous in looking into how long he has been behind bars. We also want to know his health status, and if there is confirmed medical, testament to his medical condition, we also need to speak volume to the justice system that there is need for him to be given a right to health, and for him not to be deprived of that right. And our fear also is that for his right to life not to be trampled upon. Because along the line, if any one of us here is sick and we are about to seek medication and we are not allowed to do so due to whatever reason, we should be very, very worried. And I think as human rights activists, as people who always stand for justice, we think it is our duty that we need to speak out. We are not, again I repeat, undermining justice. We are not here to go into the detail of the matter because we haven't got that local standing. We are not going to also look into the allegations or the charges, but we think fair trial means you are presumed innocent until proven guilty. At this juncture, I wish to call on the person who will steer the ship and take us through who is no less a person but a household name in advocacy, Mr. Thomas More Conte, the Executive Director of CAN. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mola Conte. Let me seize this opportunity to once more welcome us all to this press briefing. As has been rightly established by Molai, the purpose of this press briefing is to actually discuss issues around the rights of a very prominent political figure in the country's political history. That is Mr. Mohamed Kamalingba Mansare. We all know that Mr. Mohamed Kamalingba Mansare has been one of the vocal voices in our country. He has been a very vibrant politician, and at some point in time, about a year ago, allegations were made against him that had to do with sexual penetration. And as a result of this allegation, investigation was launched, and the matter is currently under trial. As civil rights activist, CGHRD, Consortium for Good Governance, Human Rights, Democracy and the Rule of Law, is of course a rights-based institution that has its membership drawn from different facets of society and that we have interest in issues of human rights, rule of law, and democratic good governance sincerely. We have been closely monitoring the process, the judicial process, the investigations, and everything relating to the Kamalingba case since it started. Deliberately, we refuse to make any comment or to make any publication on it or call you guys here because we never wanted to be so quick to jump into the issue, because we need to allow the process, the investigative process, to go on as law-abiding citizens. And even as we have called you here today, we will not venture to discuss on the merits of the matter, i.e., we will not consider having talk say Kamalingba get right or get wrong, or he is being treated this way or that way. That is a matter for the court to decide, because the matter is sub judice. And any attempt to speak on its merits will constitute contempt of court. And as law-abiding citizens, fully aware of the laws, we will not venture in that particular area. But what we will discuss here today has to do with the issue of rights, human rights. Every citizen, every human being has rights that should be protected. Inalienable rights, the right to life. And when there is a case that is so glaring in the face of that right being in jeopardy or being in serious threat, there is need for human rights activists like us to come out and speak on these issues. That is the foundation upon which we are here today. We are not here to pass judgment or to speak on the merits of the matter that is under trial currently. Mr. Mohamed Kamalingba Mansare, leader and chairman of the Alliance Democratic Party, has been in custody for over a year now, whilst the trial for an investigation that has to be, for an allegation that has to do with sexual penetration subsists. In the course of him being in custody, in prison for over a year now, certain developments, certain issues have emerged that will warrant any right-thinking member or any compassionate soul to be very concerned. Why we have decided deliberately to call you the journalists and us civil society to be here today is because we are the conscience of the people. We have a moral duty to hold a fine balance between those people who are in conflict with the law and those people whose rights are also being threatened. Because you never know when your own time will come, when you will be actually, when you find yourself in a difficult situation. The situation may be different, but you will need us to come out and speak on these issues. And we will need each other, we will need ourselves to come out and discuss these issues. Because Martin Luther was very correct when he asserted that we are inextricably linked by a network of mutuality, bound by a common thread of destiny. Whatever affects one directly affects all indirectly. And if today we are here to speak on these issues, I believe that we all need to actually put ourselves in context. We have had reports, credible medical reports, certified by the Chief Medical Officer, Ministry of Health and Sanitation, Government of Sierra Leone. A report that was made by very competent medical practitioners, suggesting that Mr. Mohamed Kamaraingba's health is deteriorating by the day whilst he is in custody. Whilst we do not actually frown at any investigation, any trial on the matter that is being investigated, but we also believe that there should be a fine balance between the investigation and the rights of the person that is being investigated. And it is against that backdrop that we are here today to discuss the human rights issues around the trial of Mr. Mohamed Kamaraingba Mansare. And to see how we will engage the authorities concerned to know that the issues are of public knowledge and that there is need for them to actually reconsider their strategy in the entire process. With us here today, we have, of course, family members of Mr. Mohamed Kamaraingba Mansare, who approached us and actually asked for intervention. We have the mother, a very old woman who could not actually make it here without discomfort. We have other family members here with us. We want to thank you for being here. Without further ado, I'm just a spokesperson. But we have our boss, who is the national coordinator of the Consortium for Good Governance, Human Rights and Democracy, Mr. Marcos Albangos Mangua. We have a detailed press statement which he will actually read out, and then it will be made available to you for publications, and then we'll have further engagement after this. But without much ado, let me hand over this mic to my boss so that he will do due diligence to the press statement we have already.
Good morning all. I want to first of all thank each and every one of you for attending this press conference. We are mindful of the fact that some of you came earlier, but you exercised patience, and we appreciate that. Now I read the press release. Consortium for Good Governance, Human Rights and Democracy, 48 Shaka-7 States, concerns over the prolonged detention of Mr. Mohamed Kamaraingba Mansare. The Consortium for Good Governance, Human Rights and Democracy, hereinafter referred to as CGHRD, is a rights-based entity of like-minded organizations with key focus and commitment in promoting the culture of democratic accountability, good governance, human rights, rule of law, and socio-economic justice to ensure a transparent and accountable society in Sierra Leone. CGHRD has been closely following the trial of allegation of sexual penetration involving Mr. Mohamed Kamaraingba Mansare, leader and chairman of the Alliance Democratic Party, ADP. While CGHRD acknowledges the fact that the matter is sub judice and its merits cannot be discussed out of court. We wish to unequivocally state the following. 1. That CGHRD fully appreciates the nature and sensitivity of the trial of the alleged sexual penetration. 2. That the trial has spanned over a year and no verdict has been delivered. 3. That while Mr. Mansari remains innocent until proven guilty by a court of competent jurisdiction, he has already spent over 1 year in detention at the Male Correctional Center without bail on account of the aforementioned allegation. That CGHRD is in possession of an independent medical report by competent medical practitioners certified by the Chief Medical Officer suggesting that Mr. Mansari's health status is gravely degenerating as the days go by. It is the considered opinion of CGHRD that the prolonged detention of Mr. Mansari has the proclivity to endanger his right to life. Given his precarious or deteriorating health status, CGHRD humbly appeals to the good conscience of the Honorable Judge presiding over the matter under trial to use his discretion judiciously and grant Mr. Mansari bail. That granting Mr. Mansari bail will not by any means suggest that the matter under trial has been closed. However, it will give a very long way to solidify public confidence, trust in the judicial independence and/or jurisdiction. In respect of the foregoing, CGHRD wishes to seriously emphasize the pressing need for our judicial system to always uphold, maintain, defend, and promote the ideals of free and fair trial, irrespective of the socio-economic or political status of all persons. Signed by Marcus Bangura, the National Coordinator, Thomas Moore, the spokesman, and Molai Conte, the Secretary General. This is the end of the press release.
Thank you very much, National Coordinator. We have deliberately decided to make it very brief and to the point because we want you to capture it in your different publications later today, those of you that will be doing them, and those of you that will be doing them in subsequent publications, we actually want them to be out. And we also know that the culture of reading, most people don't came for read long stuff there. But with this, it captures all the essential elements. So the takeaway from our press statement is: 1, we are not in any way oblivious of the fact that the matter is sub judice and that we cannot discuss its merit. 2, we fully appreciate, that is, we fully understand the nature and sensitivity of the matter under investigation, under trial, and that we also know that this matter has actually spanned for over a year. And within the period, Mr. Mohammed Kamaningba's freedom has been curtailed. And whilst his freedom has been curtailed, there have been recent development. There have been developments that have to do with his life, his right to life. His health is seriously questioned currently. As the days go by, we are told that his health is degenerating. And that's a very serious point for concern for any right-thinking member of society, anybody who gets conscience. And that we also believe that there is a sentencing and bail regulation in this country that gives accused persons the right to be granted bail, irrespective of the circumstance. And that particular right has been vested in the judge or the magistrate's presiding over the matter. And that is why we have called on the judge to be judicious enough in ensuring that the matter is reviewed and that Mr. Mohammed Kamawimba is granted bail under the circumstances of his health status. By granting Mr. Mohammed Kamawimba bail does not mean the case has been brought to closure. It will only go out there to solidify the trust and confidence that the people of Sierra Leone need so much in our judicial system. There has been a serious doubt. The public has actually been thrown into serious doubt over time about the independence and fairness of our judicial system in this country, especially when they are dealing with matters that have to do with politics or politicians. When they are dealing with matters that have to do with politically exposed persons. And as people who believe that the rule of law should reign supreme and no man should be above the law, we believe that investigations can go on, but that the rights of the accused person, Mr. Mohammed Kamawimba Mansare in this case, should be upheld to the highest of levels. Because I hold the view that when you grant Mr. Mohammed Kamawimba Mansare justice, you are sending out a message out there to those people who are very much apprehensive about the judicial system, that there is hope. But the continuous denial of bail sends a very negative picture to the public. It further solidifies the notion that the public already has that the judicial system is unfair and vilifies dissenting views and vilifies opposition, and it makes the society volatile. This is what I said on AYV television a few days ago, and I was being threatened by a very senior official. But these are things we will continue to say. Justice is the oil that lubricates the engine of a nation's cohesion, peace, and prosperity. A society that is unjust will never be peaceful, will never be cohesive, and will have challenges to be prosperous. We all aspire to have a peaceful, cohesive, and a prosperous state. Let us all join the fight against injustice in the country. Let us all join the campaign to support our judicial system to be upright, to be free and fair at all times, irrespective of the matter that is under review. Mr. Mohammed Kamawimba Mansare is a Sierra Leonean who has actually placed himself in the political arena over time. He is a prominent political figure in the country. The matter has aroused so much public attention, and we hope that the judicial system will take heed of this particular development. His health status is at stake, and that there is need for him to be granted bail, because bail is of right. So we have time for question and answer, but that will be managed by Mr. Mola Ekanukonte. So I want to give you the mic. Probably we'll have the mother to say one or two words to us, to tell us what they think as a family, how they have been actually faring on in the absence of the breadwinner and their son, their father, their husband, brother, and what have you. And then we'll throw the ball to you guys to ask questions which will be answered, and then we'll have the summit of this program.
Yeah, thank you very much, Thomas Mokonte. At this juncture, I think I will just reiterate the essence of us gathering here, that we can only talk of justice where the consciences of our judicial system of sound reputation, and where natural law is sandwiched with that justice. As we all sit here, I want to believe we believe in a particular creed. We must have our own religious beliefs. And that the laws that are made by men, not by God. And for that simple reason, it means, as human beings, we must all treat ourselves fairly. And we are here today to appeal to the judge in charge to look at God and look at man in dispensing justice. Because one day we will all return to God for us to be judged. I may sound prophetic here, but I'm also emotional in a sense. I have the human feeling that one day it could be me or any of us here. And that situation, you would want to see this type of convergence, where people will come out to advocate on your behalf. And I believe this is what we have taken oath to do, and we will continue to do. We will give less consideration to people who think that because a man is a politician, civil society activists should not come and advocate on his behalf. But let's look at it on the other side. That even journalists or civil society activists could be reprimanded by the state or by any forces, and yet we want to see a type of union or activists who will come out to challenge these issues. So therefore, I think we are here purposely for us to stand by humanity, to stand for justice, and to stand for human rights. Without much ado, I have my deputy, who is deputizing me. I think he will want to say something before we invite the mother.
Before I hand over the mic, I want us all to take into consideration. I want us all to take into consideration of the fact that there is a legal maxim which says that justice denied is justice delayed. And this is very, very pivotal because of the fact that once one is incarcerated and is denied the facts for a speedy trial, there is the proclivity that the justice system will be tampered with. This is the maxim. And we are also aware of the principle of presumption of innocence. That is, an accused person is presumed innocent until he's proven guilty before a competent court. In this situation, we've seen how Mr. Kamariba has been behind bars for over a year. That is why we did not say a word or thing before the 1 year. We exercise patience because it is the law and not man that is supreme, and that nobody is punishable in both body and property except for a distinct breach of the laws of the land. So that is why we want the government to expedite the process, so that as a Sierra Leonean and an individual, irrespective of the fact that he is a Sierra Leonean, the fact remains that he is a Sierra Leonean, is an individual, and is entitled to his own rights. So justice should not be delayed. We want the process to be expedited. We want a situation wherein he is either charged or he's already been charged. But we want a verdict to be passed, or he should be given a bail. Because if he's denied bail, you know, our justice system will be questioned. And that will not augur well, because our government has always been talking about commitment to good governance. And good governance is the bedrock of peace. It is the bedrock for development to take place in the country. I have always said that we don't need peace commissions. What we need is for the precepts of democracy, of the rule of law, of good governance to be effected. Once it is effected, I tell you, we don't need commissions for peace, because there are principles, there are tenets, there are rules, and these rules must be followed. Once they are followed, we can have peace, harmony among ourselves. Thank you. Yes, Deputy Secretary General.
Good morning. I'm Ibrahim Soridou. Of course, my boss has introduced me. But I want to make a few points that are very clear. It's like I'm re-emphasizing them, because those points had been clarified and simplified by my brother, Mr. Marcus. The issue of speedy trial. It is very fundamental, and it warrants trust, and it questions the integrity of the judiciary when trials are being delayed. The issue of the presumption of innocence. Of course, we all know Sierra Leone is dealing with a common law system of governance where you are innocent until you are proven guilty. The case of Kamarimba seems to be shifting the goalpost to the civil system, meaning he is guilty as charged. I will not determine that. That is for the courts. But these are just principles that we are actually analyzing for you to understand that we observe his fundamental human right, and we are monitoring the proceedings as it is going. The equality before the law. There are several incidences of where several people had been investigated of sexual penetration, yet they were not charged, and those who were charged, their matter were never tried like this, or they were never delayed like this. At the end of the day, they were acquitted and discharged. The case study is the paramount chief. So if that is happening, it means the issue, which is equality before the law, has been trespassed and demoralized to question the integrity of the judiciary. The issue, as Bivora was actually talking about, the effect of injustice. The effect of injustice, we all know, it may bring conflict, it may bring public distrust against the judiciary. So what we are saying is we are urging the judiciary to actually do a speedy trial, and also to look at all the circumstances that are available, the status of Mohammed Kamarimba, which is very pivotal, that will qualify him to be given bail. We all know the essence of why bail can be restricted to someone. But Kamarimba, I believe, has everything that he must be given bail. So we urge the judiciary to take all those considerations so he can be given bail and that justice can be done, and we all can have public confidence. That is just my short statement I'm actually saying. Thank you.
Thank you. Now we are going to invite the biological mother of Mohammed Kamarimba Mansari, who will give you a brief message to you all to understand how she has been going through this painful times. And I think I will also emphasize again that the courts would not want to see a dead man in court. And I don't think all over the world whether a dead man will be tried. Because we would like to see a man who is in sound health, a man who is in his sound mind to face trial. And that's why we have brought the mother to make our own appeal to the judicial system in this country to know how she feels.
Ami bona, abonde mo hu bona, ima ngede mo ifiki, sisoka wiki na abon. so I begin. Now, they don't go on that. Me at the sofa, so me body this. At the sofa, Now 1 year so, I don't see me begin. When they come out, I saw me begin, they said, when we begin, they said, I don't know if you're there, I don't know if you know the passport. And me can't see the certain book there. You can't say what them book there for, Navi. They country, this country, yeah. Do you can't wait for me begin? I can't wait for my man. Do you have una left, do you have the sofa, do you have una left for me? Do you have the sofa, not so me what it is. Do you have don't want, do you have big some bokuna ya? Amelia no some bokuna no sabi the magasep. Ya sabi all. Do you have big una, do you have gambeguna? Then we begin. Do you have the Jimmy no share? No share, do you have? Mamedo body no Suramoda no share. No share me, I don't know what I can do. I make a can't cry. I can't cry. Oh, I la. Muhammad Rasulullah. La. Muhammad Rasulullah. Oh, me
Colleagues, all at this particular point, we are going to turn the mic over to the press.
Okay. Hello to you, sir, and welcome to this interview. Mina Kona Sise from Sierra Network Press. Please do introduce yourself.
My name is Marcos Bangura, the National Coordinator for the Consortium for Good Governance, Human Rights and Democracy.
You go tell people the reason for the press conference we hold today.
We decide for call this press conference for we find out about certain things in the sense that concerning Mr. Kamarimba. Of course, we're mindful of the fact that allegations for sexual penetration, they make the incarcerate Mr. Kamarimba. We don't take over 1 year Napa neighborhood prisons. So as a public space entity, a civil society organization, we decide to, make we hold a press conference. And the press conference, the basis of the press conference, now for talk about the prolonged detention of Mr. Kamarimba. Because since they arrest him, they don't face trial, but it's over 1 year. And we get certain principles. One, we know say there is the presumption of innocence, is a principle. We say an accused person not innocent until proven guilty. And only a competent court they proven guilty. And when we talk about good governance, we talk about certain basic principles or tenets. One, now that's where they deal with justice. Now that's where they deal with the hasty or the speedy process of trial. But now we don't say it don't take a very long time. Now over 1 year, verdicts, the government or the court not pass verdicted. We're well mindful of the case. We are very sensitive of the nature of the case. But the fact remains that the prolonged period don't make we ask questions. So far so good. The main basic thing is now the prolonged detention of Mr. Kamarimba. We get medical reports which say in health condition, very, very bad and deteriorate on daily basis. We all get rights to life, we all get rights to health, that a basic human rights element. So we want a situation wherein they expedite the process and let them help the man, whether they get on bail or if in a verdict, let them pass the verdict. Because we don't see situation, he's not the first person. We don't see a lot of people we then also charge on similar cases. Some they don't even charge themselves, they're out of court.
Saying that situations don't deal way, people don't go through similar circumstances. But then why during the young term we not see such things happen? Is it that on be the old press conference for looking to the matters? Why look into Mr. Mohamed Karima in your matter?
Of course, I don't tell you since this trial begin, we don't want to put much, we don't want to talk, we don't want to see anything, just like the other cases there, because we are legally minded. We get for respect the law, we get for respect the decision of the courts, but there is no decision as of now, you understand? And the fact is, because of the prolonged time, we don't get anybody ever, they under trial for a very long period, under sexual penetration or rape. most people them we them pass sentence on. When I convict them, we don't go come a whole press conference because they don't become convicted. But this is a guy that has not been convicted and yet he is in custody. You understand? And we want a verdict to be either passed or be given a bail. I think that's going able to help the situation.
You talk about the health status of Mr. Mohamed Kamariba Mansari. You know, una bring this camp forward to the court and try for discuss about urgent reasons why make una feel say in need for be given bail.
The issue of in health, we Mr. Kamariba dey na Pademba Road. In health, they deteriorate. Now the court asks say make he face medical attention, and he faced the medical attention, and there was a report. And the reports, you know, are damning because there are certain people that don't ask questions. Say, Pademba Road Prisons or Correctional Center gets in your own hospital. Yes, you get them. But most times, why would they choose between private hospital and public hospital? Where you sick, you either decide to make a go to government hospital or go to private hospital. We know the medical status of the country, and besides, there are certain sickness we an individual gets. We're not able to men and now, so pass and take the person out. If the person get the capacity, we don't see how people go out, they fend, you know, money for support certain individuals. So irrespective of the fact that there is a prison gets in your hospital, but the fact remains that it wants a better hospital or better treatment. So we believe since that the courts, for answer your question proper, since if we don't approach the courts don't already pass a decision. In the sense that they call for medical attention and don't treat the medical attention. So that it depends on the good conscience of the courts and for the sake of good governance. Because me believe in the principles of good governance. Accountability, that is democratic accountability. We governments don't benefit from the issue of good governance to the international community. Most sponsorship will come as a result of the government saying it's committed to good governance. And when you talk about equal rights and justice, it fall under the characteristics of good governance.
Given the fact that the consortium, they asked for bail for Mr. Mohamed Kamariba Mansari, what is the assurance that he not go take flight but will remain in Sierra Leone and they go to court will never been called upon?
In bail, the issue of bail, now the decision of the courts. The court can decide for Guy or you not decide for Guy. You understand? But we look at the individual, Kamariba, not to the first time this way don't face this kind of situation. There was a time where then be also charge him for, I think, arms and ammunition, understand, around the Kailaon area, where they be found in motorcar, understand? But that's like a very grave offense that. But the fact remains that he was given bail and he never went out of the country. So this kind of situation, remember, if Kamariba want escape, want left the country, if he not left the country, even before they arrest him, because the thing leak, the social media everywhere, people they talk about Kamariba, this and that. But Kamariba, they get for call, they ain't go to a police station, they all out. So you get for look at the credibility of the individual. You understand? So me not feel say it will go out, but that particular decision depends on the court. But every individual is entitled to bail. Understand? As far as they arrest you, they detain you, you're entitled to bail.
So finally, what in the consortium they expect from the judiciary system of Sierra Leone?
The
consortium they expect from the judiciary system?
What they expect is we want the judiciary for actually regaining glory, because a lot of ugly fingers have been pointed on the judiciary. So the judiciary gets the opportunity for revitalize, for giving self life, understand, by expediting the process. Go according to what good governance say. One thing good governance say is, you know, the whole person without you not try. You can try the person, but it can be a strategy with wasting time. So now either or, pass the verdict or you bail the man. But you can't detain him for a very, very long period of time, over 1 year, because there is a legal maxim we say justice delayed is justice denied. We all enough for delay when we face the issue of justice, understand? It will be a speedy trial, understand? Otherwise, people go look at them different way and give them different interpretation. We know they look at them different way, give them different interpretation because we respect the courts and decision, but have not reached a decision yet when I verdict. So that's now we concern. we decide for call the press conference so that at least a lot of people will be able to know, which we don't get, the issue of medical attention, the issue of human rights, good governance, rule of law, and all that.
All right, plenty. Thank you to you, sir.
Thank you very much.